Scott. Yeah. Hey, go live. Make it live. Can't hear you. Hey guys,
All right, can you
I
hear me?
can hear you now.
All right,
Yeah, can you make it live?
we are live. You got 9 people watching you, wondering what the hell you're doing.
What's going
Hey,
on? Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
This is Vincent Meza and Scott Pearson. We're here to talk about top ways of getting more listings with Listings to Leads. So thanks for putting up with the kind of oddness of this opening, because we're using a new software streaming platform called StreamYard, and it's my first time, so it's kind of wacky. Before we get started, I always like to kind of give an intro, if you're new to us, to just give you, kind of the rundown of what we do. And if you scroll down on our homepage, you're going to see a couple of panels that talk about many of the ways that we market, that we help realtors market, right? So we have easy Facebook, Instagram, and Google ads. We have PDF guides, landing pages. We automatically create single property websites and virtual tours. And we have email tools, and we have print tools, and we have, call scripts, and a lot of great ways to help you engage and capture leads. If you look at the right panel, you're going to notice that we also have tools to help you convert leads. And I think for the past couple of years, we've really been focused on things like a good solid drip campaign. We've added AI text follow-up, which is giving great results at converting leads. And so this is kind of what we do. We create tools for social media, free tools for social media, paid ads for social media, print tools, and email. And all of your, whether you have listings or don't have listings, we have tools to help you get out there and market. So that's kind of like the high level. If you want to go down and see some kind of snapshots of what's going on, you can also kind of see that on our website. But today's call is top tools for more listings. So when you log into your account, you usually drop into the dashboard. And that's a really good place to start the discussion. So I just want to point this out, and then I want to talk about some resources, because one of the first things that happens for most of our clients is you start to feel like, whoa, there's so much in here, I don't know where to start. And this dashboard here, when you log in every time after you finish the setup, we're going to bring you here, and you'll want to click this button here that says Generate Seller Leads. And all the assets, whether it's a listing, a landing page, or PDF guide, they're all teed up on this page to help you market. So that's the short story, just to get started. Before we dive under the hood and look at how all these things work and show you some examples of how everything's working, I do want to give you some other resources so that you know where to kind of get started after the call, right? And one of the important things, and Scott, can we share this? One of the important tools is this blog post. So we're doing live training every week. And today you'll see that Scott's doing an open house marketing class today at 5 o'clock Pacific. This is our live one here, but there are classes pretty much every day of the week. And as you're learning about our system, definitely get on this page and watch some of these classes. So that's a great resource. This one here, if you go type in Listings to Leads /open house, you will get to this page. And this is kind of an important thing. You wouldn't think that open house marketing is going to help you get more listings, but it does. And you can kind of imagine, I'm sure if you're, in real estate, that a good percentage of the buyers that you've come across actually own a home and they want to sell a home. So when you're marketing an open house and you're doing it robustly with social media and print and ads, you're letting a lot of people, in many cases, thousands of people, know that you're having an open house. And some of those people flowing through that house will have a listing. There's a lot of great tools on this page. So definitely find this page, listingstoleads.com /open house. Market your open house. And I'm going to kind of go on that a little bit further today. But some of the tools, and I'm going to show you a few of the tools on this call today, are specifically designed to find homeowners. So get a hold of that when you can. One thing, and I don't have a way to deliver this to you, but you can email support, or you can email me at Vince at Listings to Leads to get this document. And if you want more listings, you definitely want to be having this printed and, you know, working from this every week. So I want to read through this very quickly, and then we'll kind of keep going. Our number one tool is a nearby homeowner letter. It's literally a piece of paper, and you mail it to people with equity. And when you do that, I'll show you the paper in a moment. It captures high quality listing leads. It's different. You know, there are a lot of ways to capture listing leads: free social media tools, paid ads. But this, you're mailing to people with equity. So you're not getting dozens of leads like you would from an online ad. You're getting a handful. And, you know, you're able to convert a few of those if things are going well. But those are the highest quality listing leads, because you are mailing a specific tool that speaks to the homeowner. And I'll show it to you in a moment. And the people that go through that and want their home value, those are very different from people sort of scrolling through Facebook and clicking, right? But number two is running ads on Facebook, right? Running ads on sold properties, under contract and pending. I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy and very effective at getting leads with name, email, and phone number. Then we have property valuation pages, which you type in your address and your contact info, and you're going to get an instant home value. If you put that in front of people, they're getting their home value. You're getting their contact information and their address. Once you've done that, of course, you can run ads on Facebook and Google with that. We've also got PDF guides. Now, while I'm reading through this, I am going to show you where all this lives in the system. But just as we're starting the conversation, you kind of want to know what this is. So there are 80 PDF guides for each of you. They're all about 5 or 6 pages long. They're all branded to you on every page. Your logo, your headshot, your colors. So you're gonna want to use those again, you know, in print, in email, in free posts, or on ads. And then you have other ways of marketing them, not just running ads. And then there's even some tools like a home sold report, which is a kind of a print letter connected to your home valuation landing page. And don't forget just sold postcards. Our postcards have call to actions. And so if you're going to be doing any print strategy in your business, whether it's to get buyers or sellers, you want to make sure and look at our designs, because they have call to actions built in automatically, and they'll get you leads. In this case, we want to get seller leads. We also create e-flyers. So if you have a deep database, if you've got hundreds or thousands of leads in your CRM, definitely use our flyers, and I'll show you where those are. And then we also create tools for sellers. And so as you learn about listings to leads, we're auto posting to your socials. We're helping you run ads in a couple clicks. We give you flyers. So we're giving you a lot of ways to reach out and either find buyers, or in this case, find sellers. But there are also tools designed for the homeowner to share when you have a listing. And those tools are actually going to help you get leads from your current clients, friends, and family and colleagues. So you want to use those. We automatically email those to you. I'll show you what that looks like, and you definitely want to use that. And then lastly, it's how to get a custom audience and put that inside of your Facebook ad account, which you can do with a couple clicks of our platform. This is really key. If you know anything about running Facebook ads, it's kind of like, what town are we going to start in? And then a 15-mile radius. And that can work for many kinds of ads. But when you're trying to target a particular town, that 15-mile radius may really make that ad work against you. The targeting is just not awesome. With a custom audience, you can make your targeting great. So we're going to leave this here. If you email me at Vince at Listings to Leads, or if you email support at Listings to Leads, we'll get you. We have this. You just ask them for top tools for more listings. One thing I want to show you a couple of tools and just sort of a few ideas that are out right now. Before we dive into it, one thing I want to make sure you're aware of is we have a very powerful listing presentation. We do a lot automatically to market your listings. And to be able to convey that to a potential home seller or a home lister with you, we create this for you. So as you can see, it says the complete marketing plan to get your home sold. I literally had a call this morning with somebody out in Florida, and he said, hey, this owner has two properties, and they're really high-end, expensive homes for Florida. And he said, so I really want to have this. And he said he was already selling it, had it listed with Sotheby's and with somebody at Better Homes. They said they didn't do anything. They're not getting it sold, and he wants to give the listing to me. Now, he has to pay attention to the local rules, obviously. And I said, well, I understand. I said, you probably want to have this in your hands. And notice there's a picture of the home, and it says an address. That's going to speak to your listing. So when you're going to go on a listing presentation, I'll show you where to create this. This talks about all the automated advertising that we do for our clients, right? Facebook ads and free social media marketing and YouTube video. But you'll notice that the picture of the home is in there. So the example of what this is going to look like with your marketing is here. You can also get to the place where it talks about mobile marketing, and you can say, hey, homeowner, why don't you scan this with your own phone right now while we're sitting here at the table? And you will see that it pops up a link, and they can click on it, and they're looking at a mobile optimized website. This just makes you really look like a marketing powerhouse. And, you know, it's competitive to get listings, and this is going to help that agent get more listings. And you definitely want to use that. So this is just something that's there for you. We have a kind of a generic one, not talking about a particular listing, which you can use, but you can also create this when you're going to go on a listing presentation. So a couple of other things I want to show you. The nearby homeowner letter. Remember when I said we've got a list of tools that we want to talk about? Number one is the nearby homeowner letter. This is the nearby homeowner letter, okay? And we create this for you. I'll show you where it is for every one of your listings. And a lot of our clients will mail out 100 or 200 or even more every time they have a property that's just listed. They'll also mail out another batch of 100 or 200 every time a property is sold. So we'll definitely show you how to use that. But notice it's very simple, right? It's got a picture of the home. It says, hey, we sold the home. Go check it out. You'll land over there and become a lead. But also it's going to say that affects your home value. And then people can take this piece of paper to their computer and type that in, that web address, land on this page, and they can get their instant home value here. So when you're mailing this piece of paper to people with equity, well, you know they have equity, right? And you know they might be a candidate for selling a home. And so you're telling them, one, you've sold a home or you've just listed a home, and two, you know, that affects your home value. Go get your free home value. So that's why that piece of paper can be really strong. Now, I want to show you a couple of examples of this. Pat Motley is a client. Gosh, she's been a client of ours, I think, for 14 or 15 years. She is in the mastermind group. You should be part of our mastermind group for many, many years, and has been talking about this tool year after year. And so she's doing something I've never seen anybody do, but it's pretty outstanding. She only prints up batches of 100 in her own computer at her home office, right? She flips it over, prints on the back of it with Microsoft Publisher so that it looks like an envelope, so she can hand fold it and hand write these addresses. Not many of our clients do that, right? Well, I'm going to show you an automated way of doing that. But the reason that she does that is that she basically, you know, has 4 homeowners calling her on the first batch. And if you look at her comments, she got another 4 people calling her on this batch, which is the sold batch. So she mailed 100 out just listed. She mails out another 100 just sold. And there are 8 people that want to sell their homes with her. That's from leveraging 1 listing and 200 pieces of mail. It's a great tool. The Nearby Homeowner Letter is a great tool. And if you look at our mastermind group,
one of the things that's great to do also for those that want to door knock is get the little bags, little chicken bags from Amazon. You can buy them like $10 for 120. And then if they're not home, you can just put it right on the door so they can actually see, and they can actually scan the QR code, see the property right in the bag. So for those of you that have more time than money and you want to do some door knocking, these are fabulous. I've taken them door knocking. In fact, somebody was on the call earlier, was doing door knocking with them and got a listing. So yeah, these are phenomenal, whether you mail them or you door knock with them.
Yeah, and I want to show you this one because in the mastermind group, I just saw something over the weekend. somebody come in and, well, what happened here? Yeah, and Chris is somebody that also used the nearby homeowner letter, and he's had great success. So there's actually somebody in the mastermind group that just asked over the weekend, and they said, "Hey, I don't know if you saw this, Scott." He said, I'm kind of disappointed because somebody just listed a home across the street from me, and what should I do?" And it reminded me of this story. So this is Chris, who in this post here is saying, "Hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months." And what he has done is he got a list of homeowners with equity in Remine in his own neighborhood. And he had just moved to that neighborhood, bought a house, and was borrowing listings so that he could mail out the nearby homeowner letter on various houses that were being sold by his property every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, he mails the nearby homeowner letter to an audience of people that have owned their homes for more than 5 years. This guy quickly became the top listing agent in that office, and then goes off and sets up his own office, right? And that's just like some of the power of what this letter can do for you. There's another great post by him, but I can't seem to find it here. But now that we know, like, those are kind of the top things, I want to dive back into this system so that we can kind of get to what we need to know. So when we get to the dashboard, and then here, every time you come in, we're going to drop you on this page. You'll notice that we can run ads, right? Facebook, Google ads. We can market our later stage listings, like pending, under contract, or sold. And this is where the just sold postcards and the nearby homeowner letters are. Also, there are landing pages, and we'll kind of take a look at those, and you can market those from this place, and also the PDF guide. So everything that you need, including short form video scripts and emails that you can blast out on your leads, it's all on this page, right? Even the listing presentation that we were looking at earlier is right here. If you need a specific one for your property, it's going to be, you can create it on the listings page. But let's talk about the simplest way of getting a seller lead. That would probably be running an ad on Facebook. And you would want to click create listing ad on a property that's sold. Leave it on lead ad so that you're getting leads with name, email, and phone number. And you definitely get leads from this with name, email, and phone number. And I think our clients are very excited about that. And we do it in kind of 2 clicks, right? And here we can say, create ad. You're going to notice it's in Auburn, so it's saying we're targeting Auburn. We put a $50 a day budget for 7 days. Leads like this often cost $7 to $8 each. So if you divide 7 to 50, you'd expect 7 leads with name, email, and phone number. This is a very easy way to market a sold property or a pending property or something under contract. And whenever it's later stage, it's going to say that's going to affect your home value. Click here to get your free home value. Very simple. Just click this button and you're good to go. Okay. You can also, I mentioned
real quickly for the pending and sold listings.
So, yeah, do you want to go back there?
Oh yeah. Well, just real quickly on the pending and sold listings, if you are the selling agent and your buyer, you have a buyer that's in contract. We've had clients add that listing that their buyer's in contract on, either while it's pending and also when it sold, and do the pending just sold marketing and get listings from it. So, which I find is absolutely awesome. So again, obviously as a listing agent, you're going to want to do this, but even if you're the selling agent, consider adding that listing to your account. Get with support, get to the mastermind group. If you have questions on how to do that, we'll help you out with more. But just as many opportunities as you have or as you can make up, let's do it. So, you know, any listing agent or selling agent you can do this with.
So you're saying that if you're helping somebody buy the home, add the listing to your account, run an ad and say, hey, it's, you know, this is pending, but you know, that's going to affect your home value. Correct?
Yeah. Run an ad, use the nearby homeowner letter.
Scott?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I guess you're saying we've seen people do under contract and pending. Definitely one of the things that we've seen a lot is if you're helping somebody buy a home and you know it's going to close, those agents are pulling it in and running sold ads at the bare minimum. or using the nearby homeowner letter. Anytime you pull something in, the leads that are captured are only going back to you. So it's just more opportunities for you to be running ads and capturing leads. So let's go over the PDF guide so we can just look at them at a high level before I show you how to get them out there. So when you sign up, there's kind of a wizard. It asks for your headshot, it asks for your logo and your colors. So all of that is flowing through every one of these documents. And you'll notice if you click over here, there's 40 PDF guides for buyers. And over here are 40 PDF guides for sellers. And so when you click that, everything is here and you can say, all right, I want to do 12 mistakes to avoid. And I'll show you something there. So here you can run an ad on Facebook, right? And you'll see on the right, we just tee it up. It's connected there. You can run an ad on Google. You definitely want to look at the eFlyer for your database because this is free. And if you've got a lot of leads, you can copy the code and take it right over to your CRM and just blast it out. And if somebody clicks on that picture or on that link, they're going to drop on a page where they can become a lead, where they can sign up and download this for free. And that really works, that works well. So if you have leads, you want to keep them engaged. You want to give them not just a simple drip campaign, but email that has some value that they can download and take action on and get more information. And that's what the eFlyers are for. You also have postcards and door hangers, right? So there are 40 different PDF guides for each of you. I know I was talking to an agent just a couple weeks ago who was going on a listing presentation, and I was saying, you might want to bring a couple of these with you on that, as well as the listing presentation. And she said, yes, that homeowner is actually going through a divorce. So I want to download that, print it, and give that to her, and just let her read that on her own time. Also, there are landing pages, right? And the obvious landing page that I think most of us think about is free home value, right? Instant home value. And so you actually get a stack of landing pages by default when you sign up, right? Free home value is set there. But you can also create unlimited landing pages. So I have one for Glendale, I have one for San Antonio, for any of the farm markets that you want to go after. Just put a nice photograph of something that kind of reminds everybody that their area, so they don't feel like they're going to sign up for a national spam campaign, and get this in front of people, right? So how do you get a landing page in front of people once you've created it? Well, pretty simple. Click marketing tools. And just like the PDF guides, you can run ads on Facebook, you can run ads on Google, you can share for free in email. And you can also take the print tools, again, like Scott was saying earlier, door hangers and things like that. And what I want to point out, speaking of San Antonio, if you remember, I was talking about Chris Winstead, who took our nearby homeowner letter. Chris does something with these tools that I'd never heard anybody say, before. He said, yeah, I create the landing page that I want, and I download the door hanger and I take it over to Vistaprint, and I print them up in batches of 1,000. And then he gives them to his agents. He says, we don't even door knock. We just hang them and keep walking the neighborhood. We'll walk the street, put them on. He says, and by the end of the day, we've got listing leads because people open their door, they can scan here, they can get their free home value on their phone. And now we have people that we need to talk, that we can talk to. So there are a lot of ways once you've created a landing page. Facebook and Google are great, but print tools are great too, because you're getting it right there. Now, I do want to talk about, let's go kind of, since we're talking about print, let's get back to the listing side and talk about the nearby homeowner letter. And what Scott was saying was, hey, you can print these and you can put it in an envelope, and you can, in the big kind of 9x12 clear plastic envelopes, and also door knock them, right? But there's a lot of our clients mail these to people with equity, because if you're hanging on a door, you don't know if it's a homeowner, you don't know if it's a renter, you don't know how long they've had it. But we actually have a tool here, or a printer, who can help you, right? So if you click on market listing and you click on nearby homeowner letters, this is the #1 tool for a reason, right? And that is that our clients, it's basically very clear. It's saying, hey, we've got a home, we just sold it. In this case, it's sold, and I can download it, and it's going to look something like this, right? But the real power is when you send this to people with equity. So here's an easy way to do that, right? If you have an account with Express Copy, you would connect it right here, and this green button would become available. And when you click print and mail, it pulls up kind of a connection to Express Copy, and you click Get Mailing List, and you can decide, hey, I want to do a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius. But they're going to download it, they're going to fold it, and they're only going to mail it to people with more than 6 years equity. And this is awesome, right? Because it's in a couple clicks, you're getting our number one tool into the homes of people that have equity. And that's exactly what you want to do. When I showed you the examples of Pat Motley and of Chris Winstead, they were not using this. They're actually buying their own list from companies like Remine or RedX or ListSource. So they have a list of homeowners, and they are mailing to that. And with that kind of concept, I want to take us back to this page here. This is our top tools for more listings. And, we've talked a little bit here about the Nearby Homeowner Letter. So if you bought a list, and that's actually down here on advanced, you bought a custom list from Remine, you know that these people have equity because that's what you paid for. You're getting their name, phone number, email, and mailing address. So that's why our clients can mail things like the Nearby Homeowner Letter and Just Sold postcards to those right people who have equity. That's just way more efficient, right? But you can also take that list and go over to our platform and upload that list into your own Facebook account. So if you click on ads, you will see that you can create an audience, right? And you can create an audience for your favorite farm market, right? And I mentioned, hey, what's happening here? Give it a second. You can call it rent homeowners or, Miami homeowners, whatever farm market that you're working in. That title will only be seen by you. That'll be the title of this file in your Facebook account. The list that you're buying, whoever you're buying it from, maybe you're getting it from your title company or wherever, but you can upload, it has to be 1,000 contacts long. Okay. And so these are people that have equity in that farm market that you've named, and it needs to look just like this. Okay. So when you buy that list, it's probably going to have 20 or 30, columns of data. And there'll be things like square footage and bedrooms and price and this and that. You need to save that for another purpose, and you need to have it saved just like this with these 4 columns and only these 4 columns, right? Just like that with those headers, email, number, first name, last name. And I'm making it very clear or being very kind of clear about this because I've seen agents who they hide the columns, right? They make it look like this, but they've got all kinds of hidden data in there. And because you can right click on Excel and hide it. You don't want to do that because Facebook won't take that format and put it in there. Once you've uploaded it and you import it, it lives in your Facebook account. And then when you say, okay, I want to go create an ad and I want to do something like a landing page, and let's just do, I've got a landing page here for Walnut Creek. When we do that and we click create ad, it's going to say Walnut Creek and 15-mile radius, right? And where Walnut Creek is, it's surrounded by towns. There's towns in every direction in like 5 miles. So using that, typing Walnut Creek here might work against you. Literally, if I ran this ad, 1 million people would see this ad that don't live in Walnut Creek. And that's not a really effective ad. But if I click down here on retargeting and I type in the name of my file, it will only hit those people. And since you bought that list from Remine or RedX or wherever, and you know they have equity, this ad will only show to those people if they're on Facebook in that 7-day period. That makes this ad very powerful. In the old days, like years ago, you could target just like that inside Facebook, but Facebook's had some problems and they had to take that kind of targeting away. But that's how you make Facebook super, super strong. So let's go back to this and make sure we're covering everything. So you want to create a landing page. If you want to create a home value landing page for your particular favorite farm market, you can easily do that. You can actually create unlimited landing pages. But let's kind of start with the basic ones. If we get over to the landing page here, you get like free home values here, right? And so that's obvious, right? But what if you say, well, you know, I have like this one farm market that I totally want to own. You've got some options here. You could create a landing page for expireds. You could create a landing page for FSBOs, but Property Valuation Plus is the instant home value one, right? So if you type in the name of your favorite town and click create landing page, boom, we're creating it right there, right? And you do get an unlimited one. So most of you are working in areas where you're working on 4 or 5 farm markets. You might want a landing page for your favorite farm markets, because then you can put a photograph of that area. People are going to know and resonate with that photo. And then just like the other tools we've been showing you, you could print postcards, drive people to that landing page. You could get door hangers and drive people to that. You could run ads on Facebook or on Google. You could even grab the link and grab a flyer and just send it out to your current database, right? So once you've created the landing page, we're going to drop you on like the editor. And that's where you can, if you want to change some of the text, you can. That's really not necessary. But you can also upload a photograph. And once you've done that, well, now you're ready to get out there and market. And you just click on marketing tools here, and you can see that, hey, I can run it out on Facebook, on Google, eFlyers. You can share it to social media. And you can see it's already pre-done. Everything is done for you here. And if you change the photograph in the background, it's going to be there. I know we have this one client too. Her name is Amanda Albright, if you know that name. She's a coach. And we get a client, Scott, do you know this name? Like, we have agents coming from this person year after year. And she coaches realtors. And what she's saying is, I created this landing page. I got that QR code, and that QR code goes on everything that I print. And it says, scan here for free home value. And if you're a long-term realtor and you're mailing things out year after year, that QR code, word scan for free home value, starts to resonate. And so we actually have clients sign up fairly frequently who just want this one tool. And then I happen to talk to them. I'm like, well, there's a lot of other tools that are going to help you get listings. Yes, this is great, and that will work. But there's all. Do you know that lady's name, Scott?
I'm sorry.
Do you know Amanda Albright? She's like
yeah.
She's
yeah. Fact, her and I talked about doing a training call together.
That's awesome, because she's for years has been sending people who just want this one tool, right? So let's go back and look at our list and make sure that we're covering everything, because you want to cover your farm markets. You don't want to just go out with one action, right? And so we've talked about, creating a landing page for your particular market. Yes, you can run ads on it. Yes, you got eFlyers and you got print tools to get that out. And since we created it, I'm going to go show you. There's one here. It says Home Sold Report. And this is a great tool, but not everybody finds it. So here I've got my San Antonio one. I'm going to click on Marketing Tools. And on this page, we automatically create tools to help you market. And one of those we call a prospecting letter. It's right here, right? And so this looks a lot like the Nearby Homeowner letter, right? But it's different because it doesn't speak about a particular listing. It's speaking about your area, right? So if you're thinking, how am I going to approach my market? I think Scott and I would agree, you want to be running ads to that market once a week. You want to be emailing that market once a week, and you want to be mailing something to that market once or twice a month. Mail takes a little more money. This letter here, you can edit it and add kind of the San Antonio home sales for last month, but it says that affects your home value, right? Home sales are in, that affects the home value. Scan here for your free home value. You know what that's about. We also create a landing page that has all your reviews, all the listings in your account, even some of your important PDF guides and landing pages. So this one piece of paper has a lot of lead capture for you. we create it for you automatically, right? And it's called the Circle Prospecting Letter for every one of your instant home value pages. So let me kind of repeat what I just glossed over there. If you've got a major farm market that you want to build out, you can definitely mail something to that market once or twice a month. That could be a nearby homeowner letter. That could be a just sold postcard. It could be the letter that I just showed you. You can also get that list of homeowners uploaded into Facebook and be running ads on any of your just listed or sold properties that are relevant to that market. If you also take that list and you upload it to your CRM, that could be any of the major CRMs, or maybe you're using like Constant Contact, you're going to find that every flyer has its own email from my database. And those PDF guides that I was showing you also have e-flyers. So you've got like literally more than a year's worth of content that can go out via email. So if you're thinking about, to wrap up what I'm saying here, you want to buy a list of homeowners with equity. Those are the people who are going to sell, right? That's obvious. And you want to then start sending emails to them. If I click on marketing tools on any of these tools, you're going to notice that there are 40 PDF guides, and right here's a PDF e-flyer for your database. So you've got that in your CRM. You copy this, you email those folks once a week, you upload that list to Facebook, you run an ad to them once a week, and you're mailing something to those very same people once or twice a month. This is a really comprehensive way to target your favorite farm markets. So that's kind of generally what we've been up to. And this is what's been working, right? Some of these tools are all of those tools. But I do want to get back to what we're seeing that's happening right now in today's market, because, every market is different. But, we've always got new clients coming in and they're trying things. But one of the things that we're seeing is that our clients are getting awesome results from hosting open houses every weekend, and also running ads. So I've shown you how to run ads. So I definitely want to point you back to this, which is if you go to listingsleads.com and / open house, you will see that Scott's doing a class later on today, 5 p.m. Pacific today. And you'll learn specifically, which it's kind of dovetails into what we're talking about right now, that marketing an open house has basically, people are looking at open house that own a home. They just they're doing research on the market, and you can have tools that are going to help those people, learn more about what you do to help market, homes and help sell homes. There's a great video inside the mastermind group that actually it's on our YouTube channel as well. And I think it's only 2 minutes long that Scott showed, where our clients are using our listing presentation video, uploading it to YouTube, and then putting on the television in the home. So it's kind of just rolling over and over. So as people are looking at the home, you're really leveraging the open house to show the homeowners that are walking through, like, this is everything that I do. Social media posts definitely work. If you look at this lady here, she's telling us, I ran a $35 open house ad, which is 7 days, $35 budget, and got 3 buyers and 1 listing out of it, right? And so you wouldn't think of like marketing an open house is the way to get listings, but it's actually a great way to get listings. So you want to kind of get involved and understand what you can do with our content here, because everything is designed to help you get more buyers and more sellers. And I want to just kind of show you this so that it kind of solidifies for you. When we go to listings and we talk about any listing, right? It could be just listed, it could be open house, or it could be sold. Typically when agents are doing any kind of print marketing, they're saying, hey, I have something for sale, right? And let's look at this one here. I think I've got something active right here. So let's just look at the print postcard to get an idea of what we're up to here. We know, and we're applying, I think, the common sense that we all know, right? Which is, hey, people that are looking at my homes actually own a home, right? So if you're marketing an open house, yeah, we have tools that speak directly to them, like the nearby homeowner alert. But I want to show you this postcard here. This postcard says price reduced, but let's look at the backside. The backside of every postcard is going to have a very similar message to this. It's going to say that affects your home value. Okay. And if you mailed anything in the past, it's usually got your branding, right? It's got your color scheme, it's got your logo, it's got your headshot, and your call to action is call me whenever you need help, right? That's not what people want to be doing. They're researching real estate for weeks, months, and even years. So on the front of this postcard, if it's for sale, it's going to say, go here to find out about it. If it's sold, hey, go out and find out about it. Wherever we're driving them to, it's going to capture leads. If you drive them to your free home values, you know it's going to capture a lead. So you definitely want to be thinking about listings to leads as marketing listings, of course, to get buyers, to get listings as well, right? We actually have, if you go look at our YouTube channel, Dustin Fox says, hey, every time we market a listing, and they've been doing this for years, we get 2.2 more listings, right? Why? How can that be when we're trying to sell a listing and find buyers? It's because they are using the nearby homeowner letter, and it's because they are running just sold ads, right? And they are, if they're doing any kind of mailing, they're doing that. But even here, like this is the open house sign-in form. Our open house, literally, there's a sign of notepad, right, and a piece of paper and a pen, and saying, "Hey, please fill this out." You come through, like to, reach out to you. But we actually create an online sign-in form that you can have open on your iPad or your laptop. And one of the very first questions is, "Do you own a home?" Right? We know that people are rolling through there, so you can ask a few questions. Do you own a home? Yes, no, right? If the answer is yes, no, at least that as these people are walking through. So that's why one of the reasons why open house marketing can just be awesome for you. So that's kind of, I want to make sure you're looking at that. And I also want to look at this. So I showed it to you at the beginning of the class, and that's a listing presentation. So all that we've been talking about here is how do you advertise, what tools to advertise, what do you use in print, what kind of ads can you run? So now you know a lot of ways of how to capture seller leads, right? So what happens when you capture one and you convert that into an appointment? Well, we actually create a listing presentation here. You see it here, right? And where it says property marketing plan, this is actually the listing presentation in print. So I always recommend that you print one version, and you can leave this behind, so you download it and you print it. But we also create it in a flip book format. And we had one open, I'm not sure if I can find it, but this one should come up pretty quickly here. This is the one that you want to present at the table, at the kitchen table, when you're seeing them face to face. So this is the electronic version. I really recommend that you have it open. You notice how it sort of takes a little while for me to open up. If you're doing it for the first time, sometimes it can take a little too long, right? But this is a version that is just generic. You have it ready all the time. I recommend that you print this so that you're getting familiar with everything that we're doing for you automatically. You also want to be able to read through this, right? And talk and speak to this document. And so you'll speak to it in this format, and then you'll leave a print version behind, right? And I showed you that you can actually have one for a particular address. So if you're going to go on that listing presentation, go up here to add listing, add it manually, and you'll see that the first status that we kind of put it on is just listed. Change that status to listing presentation so that we don't auto post it out on the internet, things like that. But we do, so right here where it says just listed, you can change that to listing presentation. And it's very quick. It's not like the MLS. It's just a few fields that we need here, and then put one photograph. And at that point, we put that photograph and that information in here. And now this is specifically telling that homeowner, hey, this is what your home is going to look like on YouTube and on my social media marketing. So it's a much more direct kind of presentation specifically for their home with their address. So they'll know exactly what you're doing. And so that's like key. Don't forget where that is. And I do want to also point out, I kind of highlighted it earlier, but I think it's something that clients are asking and talking about. And that is, I want more listings. How can I get over and work on the expireds? Because there are a lot of expireds in the market, right? And so if I go over here and click expired listings and I type in Walnut Creek, which is one of my favorite areas to work in, well, I just create a landing page, right? And from there, just like every other landing page, you've got ways to market it. But this landing page is automatically created. And so let's click on view just to look at it. There's also a checklist which is going to tell you how to market this landing page. But let's just click on view and look at it so that you understand, because what happens when there's an expired in your market? I don't know. Is it dozens or hundreds of agents that are calling that person to say, hey, why, I see your home is expired. Would you like to sell it? So they may not want your phone call, right? But if you email this to them or you mail something to them, say, hey, would you like to answer, why did your home not sell? Maybe it was the photos. Maybe, they didn't make it look its best, right? Get a free review. Now we're asking them for their contact information, their address. This is a great way to just engage expireds. And there are a lot of expireds in the market. So you have a way to reach out to them. That's different from a phone call, right? So one last thing I want to talk about is, well, actually there's two last things.
In every, real quickly, yeah. you can add expired listings to your account and create that listing presentation for them as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the things Brian Matheson was doing is doing exactly that and printing up, as you can see here, the complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. It's got the property address right there. And it's the exact same thing where every page has, let's see if I can get that close enough. All right. So you can see every page for the expired shows the expired home, and they convert expired listings from that. So they will take it, and I'll show you the binder. He bought the office a $57 thermal binder, and I bought one.
I saw that.
So easy. It's really easy. Here, I'm gonna drop it into the mastermind to the chat. Excuse me.
I don't know if I can see that chat, but maybe the people who are on the call can see that.
Yeah, everyone that's watching us can see the chat. I'm going to put that right here. And is that for an expired listing right there?
This is just our generic one.
Yeah, go back into listings and go to manual. And so if you go to manual, and you can do this for FSBO, you can do it for listing presentation. And when you select the status, just change the status drop down to expired or FSBO or listing presentation. And then when you do that, you'll have the opportunity to put in the address, the seller's name, email, and then that way it'll print right on the cover. And Brian Matheson, I was on a call last week or week before, and I was showing that, and he goes, yeah, we take those. We bought a $57 thermal printer. We stick it in there. We thermal bind it. So it's got a nice little booklet type of thing. And they literally go door knock to the expired, because, more expired, but you got 200 agents calling them. They don't, got spam calls that they're getting. So getting them on the phone is hard. But if you think about, this actually costs $10 to print. It costs you $10. I mean, $10 is a very cheap seller lead. So why not just bypass that altogether instead of trying to generate expired seller leads?
Oh, definitely.
Just add them, go by, take a photo, add it to your listings to leads account to status expired, and show up at the door, not showing them, not talking, but actually showing them what you can do. And just like the listing presentation, Matt, when you started talking about how you take this in a listing presentation, You get that in front of expired and they scan that QR code and they see everything that's in here. You're just like Brian Matheson. You're going to get more expired listing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So let me
hey, real quickly, Matt Driscoll just said something. I want
to. That's right.
Yeah, real quickly. Can you see the comment I just shared? So Matt says, I'm starting to think when you're talking about less photos means more visits. So Matt, what do you mean by that? Because I feel like you're getting to the point, when I talk about not using video in an ad. So when you're doing an ad, well, if I've got a video in my ad, why do people need to click? Right? They can watch the video and see everything. That's why, Randy Cohen or Jordan Cohen, one of the top RE/MAX agents in the entire world, he hates 3D tours because all he says is a 3D tour just lets people go through the property and find out what it is they don't like about the property and never end up going there. Well, I want people contacting me. I want people going to my open house. So I don't want to give away everything. And in fact, I'll tell you, when I was an agent, I was with one of the top agents in San Francisco, $2 million, $4 million, $6 million homes. This is 2020, 2024, or 2004, excuse me. He would never put more than 20 to 25 photos in the MLS. We're talking 6,000 square foot homes, 8,000 square foot homes, never more than 20, 25 photos max. Because he said, I want people to come to the house. I don't want to put, why would I put 100 photos on the MLS? All they're going to see is that third closet and the fourth bathroom with some weird lighting and go, oh, that looks like hell. I don't want that home. Well, it was just sometimes you can talk past the close. You can do the same thing with your photos and your videos and your 3D tours. Does that make so Matthew? Yeah, Matt said exactly. So, yep. Exactly. So yeah, be judicious, be thoughtful about what you're putting out there. Because again, you want people to come to you or come to your open house or schedule a showing, not give away the farm and then never engage with anybody. I'm good.
Okay. Hey, Scott, can you share this page here, which is our live training class?
You already did that earlier. Yep.
And I'm going to say one more thing before we let everybody go here. Two more things, actually. So inside every one of your accounts is our marketing calendar. And there's a really cool, every day there's a task, and you'll notice that some of those days, like Monday is to get buy leads. Tuesdays is to market and sell leads. And then you'll notice, and I'm waiting here for this page to come up, Wednesday is for PDF guides, and we rotate. Do you want buyers or do you want sellers? And then Thursday and Friday are kind of for niche marketing with landing pages and things like that. Every day there is one action that you can take to generate buyer and seller leads. And so I want you to know that this page is here, and also that up on the top are 3 tabs. Make sure you join our mastermind group. You're going to learn a lot from our clients who are talking about what they're doing. Scott's putting short videos on both YouTube and Instagram. Follow us on one or follow us on both. The short videos are 1-minute videos. They're really helpful because he's boiling down what works and what's, what people are doing, and shows you in 1 minute how to do it. I appreciate hanging out with us this long today, but sometimes just having information encapsulated in 1 minute is valuable as well. And so we do that on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram. And the last thing I want to mention is down under the Leads tab is a new, it's software that we launched last October, which is AI text follow-up. And we have a lot of our clients using that, and it is converting 10, even 11% of our leads. If you're running ads with Facebook, you're getting leads with phone numbers, it's converting 10 to 11% of those in just to a phone call. Okay. And I'm sure most of you are pretty comfortable on the phone. So if you're going to be running ads and capturing leads with name, email, and phone number, you might think you want to call them, but actually you can really warm them up with texting as well, whether you do it yourself or you use our AI text. And if you're, if you're managing one listing at a time and you're running an ad or two, you could probably keep up with that. Many of our clients are running hundreds of dollars a week in ads. They're generating hundreds of leads a week. And if you're texting all those people, that's going to take a lot of time. That's where AI text follow-up is awesome. It's converting 10% of the leads to phone calls. And that's just an efficient way of you running ads, converting leads, having more conversations with people that need to buy and sell homes. So that's kind of my story for everybody today. Any questions? And I can't see the questions, Scott. We'll have to get on a call so that I can see that in the future.
Yeah.
I do want to remind you that this is a great document to have. Scott, I kind of lost there. Got everybody on the call. Reach out to support or reach out to me. I'll get you this document. This is something that you want to look at and make sure you're working on for building out your favorite farm markets, right? And we walked through it today. And don't forget, our open house marketing is getting a lot of clients that we can get buyers all day long, but we can also get you more listings by using our open house marketing. So that's kind of my story for today. Scott, do you have any last minute ideas?
Nope. Just join us at 5 o'clock. Yeah, go to our blog, get our training. I sent it to everybody here a little bit ago. So, yep, I got to run as well. So let's let it go. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Matt, for your comments. Love all your stuff all the time. I appreciate that. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.